In the second half of the 20th century, science gave industry a new raw material, the codes of life itself. The ability to manipulate living material puts enormous resources into our hands, even the power to create new forms of life. But genetics inspires both hope and controversy. Professor Miroslav Radman works at the frontier of the new science of medical biotechnology. A Croatian living in France, Euronews met him at his laboratory in Paris. What are you working on now?
I'm now involved in the study trying to understand how life is maintained, why some species live a few weeks and some live 100 years, why some cells would divide almost forever in a petri dish and others would divide a few times and collapse, how life itself is maintained. And we are doing that by studying some curious, rare creatures of nature, some kind of freaks of robustness, of resistance. They are called a bacterium called Deinococcus radiodurans. They can truly resurrect back to life. And I would like to know what is the molecular, biological basis of their incredible robustness, because I'd like to become robust myself before I die.
Do you think this is a possibility?
Oh, this is not only a possibility, this, I believe, this is now our project, and I believe within few years, a year or two maybe only, we will know how these extremely robust creatures protect their life machinery from falling apart. And we think we know. We are now measuring the relevant event. It will be like a car that has built in a spread, a network, a smart engineer that is present everywhere and fixing small damages as they happen. Then you will have a Rolls Royce that would last for many centuries.
Or a 90-year-old tennis player.
Exactly, right.
So this is a possibility, a real possibility.
It is absolutely a possibility. And we think this is not a dream, this is a real. We measure this relevant damage, we have the method, and quantify how much damage to the cellular machinery has been done, and we see that these robust freaks are protected, that even when irradiated with hundreds of thousands of rads, while normal species are damaged, oxidized, and dead. So we think that we can put the finger on the chemistry of maintenance of life and use it. Maybe every morning drink some of it.
There's a lot of controversy about genetic research. I'm talking particularly about stem cell research. I'm talking about genetically modified crops, which causes a lot of concern and confusion in the community. Are we right to be concerned? Is society right to be concerned, do you think?
It's wise to be concerned, and it's dangerous to be hysterical about innovation and new knowledge. I think that somebody should be asking at the level of ethics, or bioethics, medical ethics, somebody should be there asking constantly the question, who will be responsible for us not doing something that would improve the quality of life of our children?
We also need to be bold.
We need to be bold.
Turning now to some of the challenges that we've got on our plate this century. We've got a few problems. We have rapid climate change caused by excessive carbon dioxide emissions. And we have increasing population. We have droughts. Can biotechnology offer any solutions for this?
Sincerely, I think yes. The resources are there. Huge number of genes that function closed in the boxes of species. Now we have the knowledge. We can become egotistic. Be very egotistic. Every species is egotistic. This is also for our species. Okay? There's an immense challenge of doing evolutionary biotechnology, which would be symbiosis engineering. Why not symbiotically associate in the same organism photosynthesis that uses just sunlight and water and CO2, pumps the CO2 in order to make sugars? Plants are doing it, algae are doing that. associated with something that yeast is doing, that is fermentation, such that the sugars that are made this way, in a very ecological way, are fermented into ethanol or butanol, and use then this directly as a source of energy. You need only sunlight. We can provide this genetically engineered symbiont to poor people in Africa. There's plenty of sunlight, and they could have independent energy. All these are fantastic challenges, but this is an example. What I really want to say, that evolutionary biotechnology, making our homemade evolution for our own purpose, just as it was made in nature for natural evolution, there's nothing wrong of doing that, because that's the way we could solve many of the problems.